6:48, a major firefight going on in Oklahoma. Check out this video. Firefighters there are battling several wildfires throughout the state, trying to contain multiple blazes. At least one of those fires is in Woodward County. It's already burned thousands of acres and is threatening homes and businesses. Officials say that strong winds and dry conditions are fanning the flames and making the fight even more difficult.
Hi again and good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Kyle Bosch. 11 minutes before 7 o'clock, and we're starting our nonstop news and weather to the top of the hour to help you start your day. And we start now with breaking news. A woman is being treated at the hospital after another suspected drug overdose this morning. Emergency crews were called to the Quality Inn on 14th Avenue South around 3 a.m. for a woman in medical distress. Police say they aren't sure if the antidote Narcan was used.
Now, we do know that a man was saved by paramedics who administered Narcan after a suspected heroin overdose in the parking lot of the Moorhead Taco Bell last night. Officials say that the man was found in a parked car. Now, in the month of March, FM Ambulance used Narcan 10 times in overdose cases, the most ever for a month. Well, this latest in a string of recent drug overdoses is all coming on the heels of a major drug bust by Fargo police.
23-year-old John Eiton was arrested at a home in North Fargo for possession with intent to deliver and child neglect. Police seized 150 pieces of evidence in a search warrant that led to his arrest. That included an AK-47, a modified AR-15, heroin, fentanyl, marijuana, LSD, ecstasy, codeine, oxycodone, and other drugs, along with what's believed to be nearly 1,000 rounds of ammunition.
Now, Eiton's alleged arsenal and those drugs were all seized from an apartment that was within 1,000 feet of Roosevelt Elementary School in North Fargo. Police also say that his 1-year-old child was found inside the home. That child has been placed in protective custody.
Coming up on 6:51, time for weather and traffic on the ones, and we start first with meteorologist Robert Hahn.
Yeah, and we've got some hazy to slightly foggy conditions across the Fargo-Moorhead area, and winds on the increase, temperatures 36 degrees. However, it feels more like 25. Winds out of the north-northwest now at 21 miles per hour. Temperatures mostly into the 30s, a touch warmer, 40. Down in Sisseton, those winds on the increase out of the north and northwest, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. Gusting as high as 35 miles per hour as we head through the afternoon hours, subsiding slightly as we head through this evening. Wind chills mostly into the low and mid-20s. Cloud cover, still got some clouds out there, and we'll see mostly cloudy skies as we head through the day today. Underneath these clouds, have had a few snow showers in Minnesota, but another area of snow has developed in parts of eastern North Dakota. That will continue to slide off toward the southeast, approaching the I-29 corridor here in the next hour or so. Off toward the east, some steadier and heavier snow over much of the Great Lakes. Winter weather advisories in effect for much of that area. Down to the south, some slightly warmer weather. We got some showers and storms stretching from Illinois down to parts of Kansas. Here in the Fargo-Moorhead area in the Red River Valley, we will see the temperatures warming on up into the 40s in many locations, hanging on to the 30s up in northern Minnesota. Breezy to windy conditions this afternoon. Chance for a few showers and storms later on today. And some of that rain will change over to snow over northern portions of Minnesota, and could see some accumulating snow up in northeastern portions of Minnesota. 1 to 2 inches possible in this area, maybe isolated amounts up to 3 inches tomorrow. Even windier than today. Winds out of the north and northwest tomorrow, anywhere from 15 to 30 miles per hour, with some gusts as high as 40 to 45 miles per hour. Decreasing clouds tomorrow, and eventually decreasing winds overnight tomorrow night. As we head through the next couple of days today, we've got some morning snow out there. This evening could hear a few rumbles of thunder. And then tomorrow, another windy one with some rain, some snow over portions of the area, and then improving conditions as we head on into the weekend. That's another look at your weather. Let's get another look at your traffic with Al Ahmed. Good morning, Al.
Good morning to you, Robert. I'm eastbound on Interstate 94 this morning. Traffic on westbound I-94 getting fairly thick this morning. Eastbound I-94, I will put it in the definitely steady category. I-29 traffic pretty active this morning as well. Road service seems to have dried out from that shower we had overnight. Travel speeds pretty strong, 60 miles an hour, that's for sure. Drive carefully today. Al Ahmed Valley today traffic.
It's now 7 minutes before 7. You should check your debit and credit card receipts and your checking account if you bought gas at Fleet Farm in Fargo last month. Employees discovered a card skimmer on one of their pumps on March 14th. Surveillance video shows a dark SUV pulling up to and opening the pump during the early morning hours of March 12th, 13th, and 14th. Authorities say it's likely the people involved were retrieving stolen data and then going back to a Fargo hotel to clone it.
Now, 4 people from Kentucky were arrested for criminal conspiracy charges last week in relation to a credit card skimming operation. Police are now trying to figure out if they're involved in a multi-state scam operation that's currently under investigation by federal authorities. We do know that 2 of the men arrested are also accused of using cloned credit cards at the Dilworth Walmart. Well, it was not a good night for the presidential frontrunners. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump failed to pick up victories that could have closed the door on their opponents' chances.
Yeah, with their wins in Wisconsin, Bernie Sanders and Ted Cruz are both building momentum, heading into a vital New York primary in 2 weeks. Let's take a look at the numbers this morning. Sanders pulled in 56% of the vote on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton had 43%. As for the Republicans, Cruz finished with 48% to Donald Trump's 35%. The Texas senator picked up a majority of the state's 42 delegates, making the possibility of a contested convention even more likely.
Now, Cruz and Trump are set to hit the ground in New York today, where Trump is hoping that he'll have a home state advantage. Clinton also looking to rebound on home turf. She's lost 6 out of the last 7 states to Sanders. April is National Donate Life Month, an opportunity for people to celebrate our country's organ and tissue donors. Sanford Hospital honored donor heroes, and they inspired more people to try and become donors during a ceremony yesterday. One local family also shared their story of their 15-year-old daughter who died in an ATV crash. Being an organ donor, she was able to help more than 60 people.
Your loved one's legacy will carry on for literally generations and generations to come. And, you know, that way it gives some peace to the family. I think it's, at least for our family, it gave us peace and comfort to know that a part of her lives on.
Kelsey's family has been in contact with 4 of the recipients. For more information on becoming a donor or to register, just go to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story. Transportation security is on the agenda at the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation today. The sole witness is the TSA administrator. He's expected to deliver testimony about the agency's efforts to prevent attacks on targets that could lead to mass casualties, similar to those that we've seen recently in places like Brussels, Belgium.
The national championship goes to Connecticut for the 4th year in a row as the dynasty fulfills its
History
destiny.
made in Indianapolis last night. The UConn Huskies women's basketball team, the first in history to win 4 consecutive NCAA national championships. They beat Syracuse 82-51. Seniors on the team, Breanna Stewart, Mariah Jefferson, and Morgan Tuck. They also made some history themselves. The first players, male or female, to win 4 national titles. Well, the Major League Baseball season is once again underway, and of course, season openers are often served up with new ballpark eats. For the Minnesota Twins in Target Field, their 2016 menu includes lots of interesting dishes. Poutine, if you've never heard of it, it's a Canadian delicacy, if you will. It's French fries and cheese curds covered in gravy. Other new items this year include the Cluck and Moo Bloody Mary with chicken and a burger, and also one of my favorites, Barrio Burritos. I love the restaurant Barrio.
Also new to Target Field is the Hot Pretzel Bites and Brews Cart, which will offer 3 types of fresh pretzel bites smothered in different sauces and served up, of course, with Minnesota's favorite beers. You can laugh and cry along with the actors at the FM Opera this weekend.
Yeah, the talented men and women are giving their last performances of the season Friday and Sunday. The Valley Today's Christy Larson joining us live in Studio B this morning with the details. Hi, Christy.
Hi, guys. Well, we got to show you some of the costumes, some of the rehearsal video from last week, and tonight, David Hamilton, your guys' last rehearsal before those performances.
Exactly.
How are you guys feeling going into it?
You know, I think the cast is really pumped. They're really ready to hit it tonight. Tonight's the big full orchestra rehearsal, and it's just going to be wonderful.
And you were telling me that music really can touch people's souls. It's one of the ways to do that.
It can reach right into the inner part of your being, and you will be so moved by this. And there's nothing better, really, than having a really good cry and a really good laugh.
Which people are going to get to do with both
Exactly.
acts that you guys have. You have the tragedy first, and then you have the comedy, which I think will leave people just kind of wanting more for next season.
Yeah, I tell you, and Puccini writes such gorgeous melodies. Nobody did it better.
We do have information for tickets online, valleynewslive.com. And Kyle and Lisa, I know you wanted to hear a little something, so we'll do just a little something for you, but you can cut us off anytime. Ready?
Oh mio bambino caro.
Just a preview of the beauty that you'll hear. His voice is amazing. I'm not knocking Christy either, but when he was singing earlier, I mean, his voice is as you hear.
Right, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. And Christy's not doing so bad,
Yeah.
actually. Well, cut her off now. Okay. Let's get her answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 28% of people do what at home, while 70% do it somewhere else.
The answer is wash their car. And I guess by my math, that means 2% of people never do it. Lisa Bedeau.
Totally me.
Having a little bit of snow out there this morning, temperature-wise, all in the 30s. Becoming windy as we head through the rest of this morning and this afternoon. Chance for a little bit of thunder later on this evening.
See, I don't
some
want
accumulating snow.
I don't want to wash my car if we're going to get some sprinkles again. You know, it just
You have to
ruins
watch
it.
it for the past 4 years.
You never know.
It's going to rain someday.
Yeah.
Have a
Thanks
great
for
day,
waking up
everybody.
with us.
Take care.